Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Metal Playground. In today's episode, things are taking a bit more of a serious turn. The XJ bug has bitten, and I decided that I like them. Now 2 more popped up for sale. I'm only really interested in one, but the guy wants both of them gone. The one that I'm mainly interested in has a heap of good gear on it that's going to cost me a way more than what these 2 Jeeps are if I buy them. I've been watching them for about a week now, but hadn't really committed to the purchase because I didn't really have anywhere to store them. Luckily a family member said you're welcome to store them here, so I was jumping on that boat straight away. Because what's better than a bunch of spares? A bunch of aftermarket ones that are a fraction of the cost. Having nothing else to tow it with, I decided to give the XJ a try, and I know that's not the greatest idea in the world just because of the way the body's designed on them. Especially if you're like me and you don't have stiffeners yet, they're known to be quite weak and stretch quite easily, or worse, straight up break. And I knew with how soft the springs are in the back of the XJ that I was in for a rough time there, but considering mine already had a mixed and matched lift, I was hoping that the clearance would be enough, and I'd just be able to get away with it without the wheels being able to meet the guards. So after we picked up the trailer, we was on our way. I'd met with the owner the night before to see whether I actually wanted to go through with the purchase, and I can honestly say that I'm glad I did because I met one of the most genuine nice people I've ever met in my life, which is by out of doing the right thing for the seller. I'm not going to show his house or anything like that. I'm not here trying to be disrespectful to anybody in any way. I'm simply just trying to make some enjoyable content. As you can see here, we picked up the first XJ. Now these are an update model, which mine is not. However, pretty much everything's the same, or does fit at least. And I might look into doing an update on the front end, because I don't think the older front end looks quite as good as the newer one, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But with number 1 loaded up, we headed back home. After an absolute headache caused by the XJ's fan deciding to stop working, we eventually managed to unload number 1. I'm not really sure why, but my camera person didn't get any of that. But with an empty trailer, we headed back to get number 2. Now you're about to get a little idea of how nice this guy was, because the second one was basically a wreck, and I mean like just about everything from it was on the inside of the vehicle rather than bolted to it, and one of the things that was taken was the steering. So not only did he go out of his way to help me load it, which would have been an absolute nightmare without him, but he went above and beyond just to follow me all the way back down because he realised it wasn't going to be safe, and even pitched in to help unload the vehicle, which also would have been an absolute pain without him. Unfortunately, not much of the footage is any good here because obviously it's a cheap camera and it's dark. In one of the clips you can vaguely see is CJ. He is an admin of a local Jeep page though, so I imagine our paths will cross again one day. And hopefully when they do, I might be able to get him to do a little bit of a rundown of his CJ because that thing is so tough, and I think that'd make an interesting part for a video. It was time. The factory Jeep alloys had to go. Although they did have mud terrains on them, the offset was all wrong, it sat too far in the guards now, and you couldn't even steer full lock because it'd rub on everything, and one of the new ones came with a mad set of alloys. So they were the first thing I was going to change over because it was quick and easy.
like how John makes his slight appearances in your videos.
The brake.
Yeah, the way the
The birds have a sportage look when the brakes fell apart. They out on each other and then they'd be beep the whole time. So just pull out, leave it.
Your mum with the alarm on that.
Straight off. They are pretty damn nice.
Is our meal prep for the rest of the week?
Not quite as good as I imagined it would, but it's not too bad, I guess.
All together. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Pulling the bracket off so I can put on their cool little design. I'll show you their design. Theirs is way better. How the hell does this thing come off? Oh, there's another bolt.
okay, I dare say that's not it. How to make backyard upgrade.
No,
Old-fashioned metal slide.
Nope.
Put it together.
Put a space up there. What
Hey
happened?
guys, in today's video we're going to be installing an aftermarket dip gauge.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Exchange function.
I hear it enough as it is.
I got my business cards at a cafe.
Oh, my
in
hand.
Glenorchy as well.
Yeah.
Right, what I'm doing is, because 31s don't fit in here normally, that bracket moves the seat forward just enough to fit them in. So I'll probably have to do it again when I go to 33.
I see.
Seatbelt, go away, leave me alone.
Or you can try it and whatever it was.
See, this is what. See how you just see me take this piece here off?
Yeah.
Well, that piece usually bolts here and makes the seat come all the way back to where that one just did. But the plate that's been put in here allows it to come forward just enough so that the 31 will fit in there.
I see. So it's been moved.
Yeah, it moves the
just
seat
about-
just up.
Just about.
It's taking so long.
The fact that I can't use the ratchet because everything's nearly finger loosening.
So why don't you spin it?
It's not moving.
You see, that's the factory one right there. And that plate, that's been made. And he's cut the bolts down so that it sits in there flush. Like, watch.
These seatbelts are so annoying.
I'll go around.
This feels zoomed in.
I assume you can see it anyway. But, see how it sits it forward about probably an inch? See, the bolts for these ones usually are here, but it sits them forward that inch. And look, ready? That's where the seat sits before.
Like really far back and not
like that.
straight.
And now we'll see how it sits once this is in.
That.
and that's not exactly how it's gonna sit, but
Yeah, well, you still need the other side.
just for example, that's roughly where it'll sit. See how much straighter it is?
Yeah, not
And, like,
slouch back.
yeah, like, rest in peace to people sitting in the back, but my priority's not really them. That's where that bracket there is supposed to screw through the floor. I don't have a floor, so I'm gonna have to put a nut or something on the end of it for now, or just leave it bolted up there. It's got to be better than the tyre flopping around doing its own thing. Holy shit, that's so bright. It needs a like shade. But I don't have a phone camera, so what can you do?
I feel like I'm like holding like an LMG.
If it does alright and shit, I'll upgrade me stuff as it goes. I'm only doing it for fun, really, and to like track the progress of the build. Because it'd be cool to look back to when it was just a stock little Jeep, and then it's got all these cool bits on it now.
It's like a cool little documentary, you reckon?
Yeah, pretty much. Something to do. Don't feel stressed out doing it because like I don't do it for anything but fun.
Bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep.
Pump it! Louder! Pump it!
I can't look at it because it's just gone. I wonder how
There we go.
it happened.
Hell yeah!
I totally stuck my finger in front of the cam trying to block out the sun because it's like wide shot.
When?
What are you even doing with the camera?
What does it look like?
It's like right
And that's where it's gotta go. What's the bet? He didn't put the bloody socket back. What'd you do with the socket that fit that one? Just because this plastic piece doesn't sit in there properly. That should be in there enough to hold it. And then this one. Real good motor, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'd love to.
I was going to say I was smoking before.
Oh, is it?
Started it up.
Yeah, that's
This tank,
Is there a big washer that's with it? There should be.
Yeah, I've seen the big washer over there. It should have a
it's not
little...
a washer, that looks like a grinder disc.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was when I first seen it. Don't get your big head in the way.
What do you even do this for?
For fun.
No, smart ass.
So where you going on your first trip?
I've already been.
Have you? Where'd you go?
Madonna.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Nah,
You did a pretty
wasteful.
bloody good job.
Wait, where's the milk?
Very close indeed.
It's gonna be weird because it's gonna be like full.
Hell yeah. That's all we have time for in today's episode. Just grabbed a couple of the small mods, just to keep it simple and easy. But in the next episode we're going out with the 80 series again, and this time we're going to Jeffrey's. It'll be interesting to see how the flares hold up now that there's an actual decent offset rim under them. And I personally can't wait to see how the XJ handles with the little ATs on it. Obviously these won't be staying on it, they're just temporary, but they got good tread so there's no point switching them out straight away, save myself a couple bucks. Especially when we have so much more that we can do. So what did the Jeep that I brought have on it that I was so interested in? Well, you've already seen the wheels, which it had a set of 5 of, I might add. It had a set of Bushwhacker flares, and a 3.5 inch Rubicon Express lift kit, including the lower arms, the extended brake lines, and of course the disconnectable sway bars. For me to get that lift kit shipped here from America, it was going to cost me 1700 AUD, and that was before the shipping started to spike. But to buy both the Jeeps, it only cost me 1000 AUD. So it was certainly an offer that was too good to pass up on, and it'll help progress our build along a lot more in the future.